right center. That ball is gone into Monument Park.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the 13th and an all-new episode of the Monument Park podcast. I'm Cole Wantraub. That's Luke Pravacci, and so much went on this past week. We had a semi-successful West Coast trip with a brutal ending. Monument Park became IRL. We saw all of the All-Star festivities kicked off in Denver, and all of it rounded out by the MLB draft. Do I hear an action-packed episode? Luke, how are you doing?
I'm good. This week was good. It kind of got us out of the rhythm of just games every day and constant up and down that we'd been going through. We got to focus on all-star stuff, the draft stuff. It was just nice to kind of look ahead to the trade deadline too on this week off, but I think we're ready to get back into it.
I mean, I agree, and you better be ready because Yanks, Red Sox,
Boston,
be there tomorrow.
Tampa, Boston. Yeah, we'll both be there. Type.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So looking forward to that. But, you know, we talked about this West Coast trip last episode. Yankees never really play well on the West Coast, but, I mean, they played pretty well. It was just the ending that, you know, destroyed it. So we took 2 out of 3 from the Mariners. First game, I mean, we destroyed Justice Sheffield. And we knocked them out in, like, I think the first inning.
First or second?
First or second inning. Offense was there. Offense was there game 2 against Kikuchi. It kind of went silent, and then it got interesting when Domingo Germán, who was scratched because of a root canal, comes in like the 7th inning and just, well, I mean, he gave up a 3-run home run, made it interesting. Chad Green came out, looked like a beast, and that was that. So, I mean, you're sitting 2 out of 3. You know, the Yankees are never going to sweep a team. I mean, we're like 3-9 in sweep situations. Well, that was added on to this past weekend. But Logan Gilbert, top prospect, which is even worse. The fact that he's a top prospect, we've never seen this guy before. I mean, it's just too obvious at this point. Like, it's just too
so
obvious.
Predictable. It's so predictable. The offense was there the whole first game, and then the first couple innings of the second game, and then just rode out the second game. And you knew, even though we won the second game, the momentum from that was all out of sorts because we didn't hit the last, like, 6 innings going into game 3 with Gilbert on the mound. And once the Yankees haven't seen anyone before, and if they're not clicking on all cylinders, then it was pretty clear what was going on before it even started.
Yeah. I mean, the guy gave up 1 hit, 8 strikeouts over 7 innings, no runs, no walks, brings his ERA down to 3.51. And then Paul Sewald, who is a brutal relief pitcher for the New York Mets a couple of years ago, finds a new home in the Seattle bullpen, ERA of 1.46. I mean, if you leave the Mets bullpen, you might turn it. I think it's like a virus out there. I know they're, you know, pitching better this year, but I mean, their bullpen historically not great. And then Kendall Graveman like hits DJ LeMahieu, and they're like staring each other down, and it's just
Roogie's like, running out of the dugout.
Like, are we really gonna clear the bases in Seattle? Like, is it really worth it? Like, I know you just hit DJ, shout out DJ, but it's just.
Of course, it was Roogie. Like, of course, he's just running out there. No, but I was surprised to see DJ that fired up. I've never really seen him get that upset. And it wasn't like, I mean, he didn't throw at his head. I don't know. It just seemed like a very frustrating day for everybody. But even that was a little surprising to me, see him yell like that.
Yep,
I'm excited.
Let's clap it up for Giancarlo Stanton. Our 1 hit that day.
Oh, my God, ridiculous. I'm going to the first Mariners game, I think, or one of the games in that series in early August. That should be a little – I was kind of dreading it. Now I'm like, oh, this could be a little interesting.
I mean, if they're really going to, like, try to retaliate, like, that's ridiculous.
It's so stupid. Like, what are you doing?
So then you take 2 out of 3 for the Mariners. You expected to take 2 out of 3, seeing who we're facing in the third game. And we're going to go to Houston. And, you know, it just starts with Buffalo Wild Wings. Me and Luke, first time in person. Nestor comes out, just dominates.
He was so good.
Luke couldn't even, like handle his blazing wing. Just couldn't do it.
Singular blazing wing. I was
Singular,
dying.
and I
Ruined my meal.
I downed like 8 of them. Fine.
You're a psycho.
GB the next day. It's fine though.
I hate you.
We're good. We're good.
No, yeah, Nestor was unhittable.
Nestor Rigetti.
Yeah. Oh my God, they called him Nestor Rigetti. No, I mean, yeah, even in this one though, the bats were a little dead, but the pitching, I mean, Nestor just set the tone, and it was really good to see him get stretched out. I believe he threw like 75.
I can pull it up.
Yeah, like a higher.
74.
Yeah, okay. So he's working his way up in terms of how long he's been throwing, which is good because if we can stretch him into like the 80s, low 90s, maybe even, like he's pretty much at starter length at that point. But yeah, it was good. We got some timely hits from Gardner, Wade, and then DJ, which was good, and it was all we needed. Easy 4-0 win. Of course, Loizaga had to go on the IL though. That cost us the third game for sure. But
yeah,
what are you gonna do? It is what it is.
I mean, that night, the bullpen goes 4 1/3, 1 hit, 4 strikeouts. Yeah. I mean, Nestor got us 4 2/3, 2 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, brings his season ERA down to 1.05, 3 points lower than Jacob DeGrom.
Best pitcher in New York?
I mean, he's the king of New York. Mello, baby.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yep.
Nestor's a stud. And it is what it is. Like, you can't deny it anymore. Nestor's a beast. He's going to implode one day, and his ERA will probably jump 2 runs, but he's still a beast right now. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because I'm having fun. We stink, and Nestor Cortez is our best pitcher. So.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. Oh, not after game 2 in Houston. I mean, Garrett Cole, that was one of the most impressive performances I've ever seen.
Except we didn't see it.
Except we didn't see it because you were at Somerset. Sorry, we watched the highlights.
We had an interesting time for Somerset.
Oh yeah, that went. We should have just watched the game, but no. I mean, 130 pitches, like.
Yeah.
He yelled at Boone too. That was crazy. Put the team on his back. The offense was dead for some reason. They just do that, I guess. We get 1 run and we're all putting on coats and stuff in the dugout. And we just got to stop.
It's chilly when the roof goes on.
Yeah, it's chilly in Houston, Texas. We just got to stop talking mess to these other teams because it backfires every single time.
Does it? I mean, I remember Boston with the New York in the clubhouse. And then
dude,
after they beat us, and then Tampa did it last year. I mean, we just started a running meme.
No, we are a running meme. 2018, we played New York, and then lost the last 2 games combined like 30-6. Like, you can't do that. You cannot do that. And then it's just Houston has our number. Altuve beyond has our number.
Oh my God. I mean, you could just tip my cap and call Altuve my daddy.
Like, honestly, it's ridiculous at this point. We just got to stay in our lane. This group of guys just doesn't really get it. I feel like they're just always
they play too confident. But speaking of this game, it's like that was a reassuring game from Garrett Cole because the Boston start, then the Mets start, and then he comes out and pitches against his former team on the road, and throws 129 complete game shutout against his former team against the best offense in baseball. Granted, no Correa or Bregman.
But everybody's still hitting 300 in that lineup, which is crazy.
It just means they're a good baseball team. You know, we knocked Greinke out early. They went to Javier, who
he was nasty.
I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen him before, so that's probably why. They went from Stanek to Presley. I mean, it was just a good all-around game. Most pitches in a game from a starting pitcher since 2015, Nathan Eovaldi. I don't remember that game at all. That might have to be the game of the day. Might have to look it up because just have no recollection of that. I remember Nathan Eovaldi was a good. He would tally the wins.
Yeah.
But when it came to run support, he was like the most supported pitcher out there. He would get so much run support. Kind of like Herman a couple years back. He had 18 wins and he was suspended for like the whole year. Where was I? Just Garrett Cole is a stud. and I was talking smack. I know I was calling him a bum, but he's not a bum anymore until he
obviously
plays
not.
tomorrow night.
Is he pitching tomorrow night?
I mean, he has to. It's his 5th day of rest. What are they gonna give him 6 days?
130 pitches though,
5 days. What are they gonna go, Michael King? We might as well just pack our bags and leave.
Nasty Nestor. Let's do it.
Take our picture in Monument Park and get the.
Just go to dinner. No,
go to dinner.
Yeah.
NYY
Why? I still can't believe we lost this 3rd game.
Oh my god!
Thinking about it.
I remember the short porch. They were saying that Hub says every week that it's the worst loss that he's ever seen, and it was you say this every week, but he was no, this is it. And then Tommy Smoke says that the Yankees dig themselves in their own hole, or they dig their own grave, but then they break out a new shovel and dig it even further. Something along those lines, which is just really funny. It just defines this year. It's what was the number? 493-2 teams entering the 9th inning with a 4+ run lead, and the Yankees are those 2 losses. This, I'm walking around the house just fuming that they just lost the game. I said, "Is this even the Yankees? Are we even the Yankees?"
It doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't.
I was thinking about tomorrow when we go. I need a new jersey. I only have a Jeter one. I was thinking, I was I don't want any of their jerseys right now. This team implodes on themselves every time they start to get even a little bit of hope. It's just, it blows my mind. We have 5 of these losses this year. If we hadn't lost these insane choke job losses, we would probably be a game out of the wild card.
Maybe second wild. I can name 4 games.
Crazy.
You have the Minnesota game with the double home run. You have the Angels game. You have the Mets game, and then you have this game. That's 4.
And the other Astros game, right? Didn't we choke?
Oh, the Chad Green, the 3-run home run. That
was only a 1-run game, right? I don't know if that.
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, we were up by 2 or 3 runs that whole game, and then they cut it closer. I think Yordan Alvarez second deck homer, and then Chad Green give up the 3-run shot, and we were dead.
Yeah, I think it was 3-2, and then Altuve made it 5-3. But I'm just saying, there's.
And then you can count countless extra innings games that we've lost because we're the worst extra innings team. I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's this isn't the Yankees. So we lose 8-7 against the Astros. Just embarrassing.
We got walked 14 times.
We got walked 14 times. We had 8 hits and only 7 runs. I'll take 7 runs. 7 runs should be enough to win a game. But still, 14 walks. I remember we had a 1st and 3rd, nobody out, and they brought in a relief pitcher. His last name was Scrub. Literally, his last name is Scrub.
Yeah,
and we didn't get anything. We didn't tack on anything. And at that point, I was all right, I don't feel good about this game at all. Jamison Tyone's rolling against the Astros.
He's doing so good.
It's just never going to happen again. Yeah, he did. I forgot to mention that.
I give him credit. We've been on him a lot. J-Mo's been really good the last couple of starts. Maybe he's finally – I'm not going to even say it.
I mean, he could finally be coming back, but we're still not going to win.
Just don't say it.
We're just still not going to win, though. It doesn't matter.
Don't even say it.
He's coming around way too late. Thanks for coming around, buddy. It's July.
No, but the thing is, now we're talking as if he came around and then he's going to.
Honestly, bro, I don't care.
We ruined Jamison Tyone. We were also 3 for 16 with runners in scoring position in Game 3 against Houston. I
mean, you have the Tim LeCastro home run. They start the jacket celebration. Bro, I was getting Howie Kendrick vibes from that home run.
Yeah, for real. Right down in the corner. It's crazy. We were getting a petty battle off between a Tim LeCastro homer and a Martin Maldonado, who, by the way, he's opening his jersey as if we care. He's wearing a buzzer.
It's they're making fun. They're literally mocking themselves. And dude,
I know.
We know you're not wearing a buzzer. You're hitting 170. You're hitting 172 with an OPS of 548, and you're trying to show us your jersey. Come on,
that was so funny. If anybody else does that, I would have been all right, that was pretty funny. If Gurriel did it, I would have been all right, that's fair. Martin Maldonado, Give me a
know your
break, dude.
place.
Give me a break, dude.
And then Gary gets his first hit in like a month and hits a three-run shot.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
and then they walk the bases loaded and then we don't score anymore. And then we get first and second, nobody out in the ninth and still don't score. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. It's
And then we
brutal.
go into
It's just brutal.
we bring in Herman in, I believe, the seventh inning.
Seventh
inning. And he rolls through that first inning. He rolled through the first inning, and then he got a huge double play ball to end the inning in the next inning. But they bring him back out there. You have a 5-run lead. You could go to Aroldis Chapman because you want to get his confidence back, right? Are we just gonna just like not pitch him at all? Pitch him
Adam Ottavino him. They're gonna Adam Ottavino him.
Literally, they're just never gonna.
I literally think they're doing that, and then the offseason they'll salary dump him the same way. Hopefully not to Boston again.
Like, just
holy
put
smokes.
Chapman in. They literally, I think they had 5 or 6 straight singles or just straight hits in that inning. And if you bring in Chapman, who knows? He might even save the game. It's a completely different pitcher. It's not Domingo Herman. They go with the ninth inning. They get a single from Gurriel, a double from Tucker. Second and third, nobody out. They go to Green out of the bullpen. Why is Green, if you're going to pitch Green, after Green threw a bunch of pitches the prior night, I think it was 28, like the game 1 of the series. Maybe it was, the last game of the Mariners. You know what? I don't really know. But he had thrown a lot of pitches and he got some.
He threw it first game of Houston.
Yeah. If you're gonna pitch Chad Green, start him in the 9th.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't even about Chapman for me. Just give him the clean inning.
And then they warm up one guy at a time. Like, get double barrel in the bullpen. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, do you understand that? Like, you're gonna need. There's gonna come a matchup where you're going to need a certain guy and you're only warming up one guy and that might not be a favorable matchup. So warm 2 up. What they're bringing, and then they're like every time there's fire in an inning, like a bad inning. Is that your dog?
Yes, tweaking up.
What up?
No, keep going.
Every time there's like gasoline on the fire in an inning,
they
warm up Lucas Litke. Like
every time. Poor guy.
It's like this guy's coming into these bad games. And, I mean, he didn't come into this one because, I mean, we gave up, 6 runs in, 3 minutes? Like,
dude,
it went
I turned it off. I turned it off in the middle of the 9th to watch the Italy PKs.
And Luke texted me. He was like, big dub. And I sent him a question mark being like, are you ahead of the game? Or did we just get a double play on Altuve? No. Because Altuve shoots a 3-run home run and the Yankees lose.
Oh, I was so beside myself. As soon as you sent the question mark, I was like, no. Like, it took me a second to process that meant we weren't.
And like, you were texting me and like, I just like left it unopen.
No, he was.
I was not
never. No, I was no idea. And I had to. Oh my God. I was
having a jolly old time after Gary hit his home run,
me too.
He did the thing.
We can't get out of our own
cold. Can we stop the jacket celebration? Like, this can't be a thing anymore. It's done. It feels like we lost the series, even though we took 2 out of 3. And I know we won the season series against the Astros, which is pretty good. But it's like,
we went 4-2 against them, and it feels like literally we won 2 out of 3 both, I thought. No?
Nah, 2 out of 4. We won the first 2 games against them the last time. We took the last 2. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. I don't know.
Either way, we won the season either way. But it feels like we got straight swept.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, you're right. 2 out of 3. So we actually did better than I thought against them. So 4 out of 6 against the Astros. Good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that is good.
But the way it ended just can't happen. It just can't.
No, it can't. Absolutely not.
So moving on. I mean, that day was the Futures game. I was actually tuning into that. And it was very hard to keep up with. Really, the All-Star game was too. Futures game.
Yeah.
Dominguez comes in like the second inning, hits 106-mile-an-hour line drive. Just good to see him there. He's hitting right-handed. I'm pretty sure he's a better left-handed hitter than he is right-handed. And then I'm like sort of watching the game, sort of not watching the Yankees side by side. And I didn't see him bat again. And I was watching the game till the 8th inning, and I look at a scroll, and it says Dominguez 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Like, I just did not see the strikeouts. I'm glad I didn't see the strikeouts.
Yeah, no, that would have been unfortunate.
But
That would have been
I
very
mean,
unfortunate.
he's like 18 years old. He's literally our age, and he's going to play in the future
Crazy.
game on
I think
national
I'm older
television.
than him,
I
which
think
is
so.
just bananas.
It's close.
Absolutely bananas. Yeah,
So,
and then he got the call
He got
up
the call up
after.
to Tampa, right? And
Yep,
Anthony
that was
Volpe,
cool.
who is from my town, or
And
went to high
Glenn
school in my
Otto,
town.
who shoved too.
Glenn Otto
Yeah,
was a beast. He got called up to AAA. Volpe gets called up to High A, and Dominguez gets called up to Low A. Aldina Sanchez, the guy we got back in the Mike Ford trade, got called up to Low A as well with Jason Dominguez. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter. But, and then we go to a Somerset Patriots game. We got a couple autographs. Oswaldo Cabrera.
Yeah, Oswaldo Cabrera and Dermis Garcia. No, Medina. We didn't know he was at the Futures game too.
I had no idea Medina was at the
Me neither. My friend asked me if Medina was going to pitch, and I wasn't even under
I never even mentioned Medina.
Impression that he'd pitch. Yeah,
Medina. He had a score. He worked himself in and out of damage. And he threw he was just going 100, and then just falling it off with 87, 88. I'm like, wow. They just know he just can't turn into Davey.
He just can't turn into another. He just can't turn into another Yankees prospect that doesn't develop a great off-speed pitcher too, because they throw 100 since they were 16.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where our pitching scouting department goes wrong, is we get all these guys throwing gas and then they rely on that, and then they get to the show and need to be able to locate off-speed pitching and can't. I'm just worried about that for him. But seeing him, 100 dropping down to 88 is a good little velo mix there. Hopefully he continues to develop that.
So that's the Futures game. We moved to the Home Run Derby. Cole wasn't happy. Luke didn't really care. Pete Alonso wins the Home Run Derby. I mean, that guy was born to hit in the Home Run Derby.
I hate that guy.
That guy can hit. That guy can hit so many home runs effortlessly. It's kind of like Medina throwing 100-mile-an-hour fastballs. Home run. Doesn't matter who's throwing to. His pitcher was just feeding him too. They showed the box.
The box, and it was all middle.
Just
crazy. No, I mean, it's fine. I mean, you could tell he cares more about the Home Run Derby than actual baseball, but it's fine. Not upset about it.
I'm not upset.
Not upset about it at all.
All-Star.
I love Trey Mancini.
Yes, Trey Mancini.
That was unbelievable. That was so good to see.
I don't care.
I love to see that. No, that was very good to see. Very touching story.
Very touching story.
And he made it to the final. It wasn't even like he got smoked in the first round.
He hit 23 home runs in the final round, and he made, gave Alonso a run for his money. But I mean, Pete Alonso hit half those home runs in a minute, and it was over.
He's crazy.
He's nuts. All-Star game, Judge works a 4-pitch walk. I wasn't liking the vibe of the All-Star game, how they were wearing all the same jerseys. What happened to 2019 when we wore our home and away jerseys? What happened to 2018 when we wore our home and away jerseys? What happened to 2017 when we wore I can go on for years and years how they would wear their home or away jerseys depending on where the All-Star game was played, the American League or National League. It's a money grab. It's like there was no All-Star game last year, so they had no chance of making any money. So what do? They try selling these ugly-looking jerseys, and then they put them on national television to even show how much uglier they are, just to get an extra buck. Sure, I understand everything's a business, but you shouldn't be going based off of what happened this past year. Play the All-Star game the same way. I know the game's played the same way, but just wear the jerseys. These players,
the nostalgia was off.
It's just
nostalgia was off for sure. I was remembering when we were young watching it. I don't know, it just didn't feel the same at all.
You see the guys in the pinstripes, you're like, holy, and there it is. But now that everyone's wearing the same jersey, you can't recognize anyone unless you really look closely. And that's what, if anything, that's gonna hurt the younger kids, because they're not gonna necessarily pick up. They have to know the face. They might not know the jersey or the name on the back of the jersey, for that matter. I mean, sure, the name's on the back, but you can't see that all the time. I don't like what MLB did there. I'm not going into whether I think it should have been played in Atlanta or
either.
A
little outside of our,
but it's just, Oh, and there was a commercial that was like ripping the MLB for moving it. It was
Really?
like, yeah, and it was just they literally played it during the All-Star game. Like it was like I'm not gonna go here because I don't know where it can get me, and I don't want to get into a debate because I don't
No.
really know the first thing about what happened. I just know
Yeah,
they moved from
we
Atlanta
just
to
like baseball.
we just like baseball, and that's it.
Sometimes.
So Judge made a nice running play to rob our future center fielder Brian Reynolds in the All-Star game. Went up to the wall. I don't know what it is, but Aaron Judge used to make a lot more nice plays. He kind of he didn't drop a ball in the last inning of that Houston game, but you weren't watching. It was like hit to the wall, hit to the wall, and it like goes off the edge of his mitt. I'm like, the guy's made these catches before, and maybe he's being more careful. But
That's
these
what I
aren't
think it is.
catches. These aren't catches he has to dive for. These are catches that are on the run. So
He's definitely being
not
more careful.
he's not as
He's
sharp
wanting
in
to
that out
conserve
there,
his body.
and no one
You know
runs on it
why?
anymore.
He wants to get that bag.
He
You
wants to
see
get
his
that bag.
arbitration. His arbitration's ending after next year.
Yep.
So I mean, smart personal decision, and honestly, I'm not even mad at it.
And then they ask him at
I'm
the
really
red
not.
carpet, like Greg Amsinger's talking about how he has like a pain in his knee and he gets a feeling in his knee when something's about to happen. He's like, I have a big pain in my knee that the Yankees are going to make a great run in the second half. And he said, what do you think to Aaron Judge? And Judge was like, and he kind of like hesitated before answer. He's like, I think we'll do really well in this or something along those lines. But he paused and I was like, it
Really?
just sounded a little hesitant. And it was just like, yeah, he's just, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's all.
He's
Oh my God!
he's not keeping it
With
real.
those series recaps, they got to
Yeah.
stop. They just have to. I can't.
It's just
You got to just.
I mean
not
they
post the Houston.
definitely asked him to do it because in prior years Glaber did it last year. It's just they're doing it as
Oh,
a business thing.
Didi?
It's a media. I mean, yeah, he did his own thing with the emojis, but
Yeah.
They did it with Glaber last year.
No taste. Just no taste. I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, there's nothing really bad I can say about Judge, to be honest. He's been the best player on our team, especially on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, we could pick him apart for not being clutch in certain situations, but we're not going to do that. I mean,
No, because we're not, dirt bags.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Obviously,
sometimes.
no.
MLB draft.
Somerset.
So everything went wrong in the first 10 picks. The Boston Red Sox got the best player in the draft, Marcelo Meyer, at the 4th pick, and the Mets got Kumar Rocker at the 10th pick. Just everything went wrong.
Hey, as long as the Sox didn't get lighter, I was all right.
All right, but Marcelo
Honestly,
Meyer, best
I was
player in the
fine.
draft.
Marcelo Myers,
and they're just gonna trade him for a good pitcher, if anything. So it's like they drafted lighter. Did you ever think about that? Probably not.
I didn't. Didn't at all.
So yeah, actually really funny. Yankees pool money went 6.9 million. The Mets, Kumar Rocker's slot, 4.5 million. They gave him 6. We gave 21 players. Well, we tried to give 21 players. Not everyone's gonna take their money, but 6.9 million, and the Mets gave Kumar Rocker 6 million.
Well, yeah, because we drafted Trey Sweeney in the first round. That's why we spent 6.9 million.
All right, so before Luke just takes a dump on Trey Sweeney, he doesn't know anything about him. I'm just gonna hold him back.
Dude, guy hasn't hit it.
Okay. We'll get there. So, Damon Oppenheimer, the Yankees amateur head scout, was asked about all these prospects, and really what he focused on was Sweeney's future at what position, and he thinks shortstop. He's been knocked about his athleticism. I've read up on MLB.
Yeah.
But he's got a really strong arm. And we have our third baseman for the next 8 years, 7 or 8 years, maybe 5 to 8 years. I'll give him that window, Urshela. So we don't really need to squeak Sweeney over at third, but I mean,
maybe
you can never have too many shortstops. It's just kind of a draft thing. You can't have too many shortstops. You can't have too many catchers because teams are always looking for shortstops and catchers. And hey, if Gleyber Torres turns into Gleyber Torres and we don't really need a second baseman or a third baseman, we can just trade. Okay, Gleyber rant later, We can just trade Trey Sweeney to a different team when we need somebody. But, he hasn't even gotten to camp or to Tampa yet. So let's not start talking about trading him. Let's see what he has. I've also heard about a hitch in his swing. And I should just reenact it right now.
Do it.
Good.
Do it. Well, I explained to them that he's never seen a fastball above 95 miles an hour, which could be a very big problem. I can't hear you. Something happened.
My bad.
But yeah, no, anyway. No, you're good. But yeah, no, the first step of being able to hit at the major league level is you have to catch up to the fastball. And this guy's leg kick is huge. Never seen the gas like that. I don't know. It just seems like he's a big project. And it definitely felt like they could have gone for more talent in the first and picked him later if they were just, because in the third round, they just picked an LSU commit who's not going to sign.
That's not true.
Okay.
He's intending to sign. But let me do my
Really? No, I didn't even know
my
impression.
All
right, sorry.
So Sweeney's here, okay? And he does one of these. He brings his hands here. It's not a hitch because he's just getting in his load position. I don't understand what they mean. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can. Okay. I'm just trying to
I don't understand what they mean by hitch because he's not hitching. A hitch is something that's going to cause him to pop the ball up or something. He's here. Okay, he's not the most visually from on paper. If you look at his stats, or his stats last year were very good. But if you just look at his, scouting report, he's not the most attractive prospect. But he's a project, and he's going to go to low A. I don't know if you read the tweet, but J.J. Cooper said, here's the tricky part of this Trey Sweeney pick for the Yankees. Sweeney just didn't get to see many top-notch fastballs this year. He hit 425 with an OPS close to 1364 on fastballs overall. But he hit 0 against fastballs 93 plus. He only saw 16 of them, none harder than 95. So he's going to get to the lower level, and he's going to see a bunch of guys that throw really hard that don't know where the ball's going. And then guys that throw slower, like 92, 93 with control, and he might succeed. You never know. And he's just going to get better and better, you would hope. He's a lefty. He's got a strong arm. I don't hate the pick yet. He's 6'3", too. That's a tall shortstop. Good-looking kid. He's just, let's go. Do it.
He's going to go into the minor leagues and see fastballs 6 miles an hour faster than he's ever seen before, and they're going to be moving.
Yeah.
It's not going to – it's a project. It's just a project. It's just very early for a pick like that. But I guess my opinion on the draft strategy does change if Brock Selvage is signing, which you said.
Yeah.
That's good. High school lefty, throws 96. But, yeah, before we get to that, second round, we went with Brandon Beck out of Stanford, which I loved. Brendan? I was calling him Brandon. Brendan Beck out of Stanford. He had a good run with Stanford this year in the College World Series. He was their ace. He was their horse. He's just, I don't even know. What was the team that I was trying to tell that story, that he made his team wear black uniform.
Oh, Texas Tech.
Yeah, so he's pitching against Texas Tech in the regional and is 106 degrees out, and they're playing on turf, and he still had the team wear had them play in all black because it was Texas Tech's funeral. And this seemed like the total opposite of Trey Sweeney in the sense that Trey Sweeney has a ton of developing still to do, whereas Brendan Beck is pretty much a finished product, as Damon Oppenheimer says, that there's little room for him to develop. It's more about it's more about the inning, managing his innings and kind of figuring that out, which the ceiling is a high-end starter, which you'd love to see. We can never have enough of those, and we haven't had a steady number 2 starter since I couldn't even tell you, Andy Pettit. I don't know. We need these guys at the top end of the rotation to back up Cole and give him support as we can build
Masahiro
around.
Tanaka.
He was like the one.
Last year, no.
Who was well, yeah, last year's fake. We need, yeah, I don't know. I like the Brandon Beck pick a lot, and I think it was smart.
He actually, I'm reading this. Beck was a two-way player at first, playing 5 games at third base in college. This is from a Pinstripe Alley article. Shout out to those guys at SB Nation. Two-way player at first base, played 5 games at third in college before spending the summer at the Hot Corner in the West Coast League, where he slashed 243, 360, 314. And then he became a pitcher, really focused on that. And, quote, it doesn't appear likely that the Yankees have found their version of Shohei Ohtani, which, disappointed. But after watching him in the home run derby in the All-Star game, not too disappointed, especially since he pitched like 7 runs against us. He stinks. So MLB writes that he's fun to watch. He works fast, and his combination of strike throwing and athleticism remind me a little bit of Shane Bieber when he came out of college in 2016. Bieber, low 90s fastball, can get it to the mid 90s. This kid probably get it to mid 90s eventually, even though they say he can reach back and get 93, but that'll increase. Mix all 4 pitches and throw them all for strikes, which is he
really just has that alpha presence on the mound. You watch him pitch, you can tell he's just controlling the game, which we need that.
And he won the Pac-12 Pitcher of the Year, so that's cool. Moving on,
Need that.
I mean, we can kind of fly through these. Brock Selvage, left-hander. Luke's just talking about him, committed to LSU, but I saw a tweet earlier that say they think that or Oppenheimer says they think the organization will wrap up contract talks sooner than later, which is good. Left-handed pitcher, up to 96, 18 years old. Did I say lefty already 3 times? Because
huge.
That's ridiculous. That's
tops out at 96.
And he's just going
to lefty.
Come on. Did we just find ourselves a Garrett Crochet? I mean, we may have.
Wow. Yeah, and then Tyler Hardman out of Oklahoma, that's your favorite player in the draft.
Yeah.
Just rakes.
I just read his numbers and I fell in love.
We have no first baseman in our top 30 prospects, so it fills a need. And I mean, he won the Big 12 batting title. What else are you gonna ask for?
A first baseman that wins the batting title? I mean, that doesn't happen.
What else are we gonna ask for here?
So pulling up his OPS from this past season. In OPS of 1142, he hit 397. So that's very good. I don't even care about his home runs at that point. If he's hitting 397, I really don't care. He had a cycle this past year, their first cycle in OU's history since 2010. And he raked in the Cape Cod League, which is cool because there's a lot of competition down there.
Yeah.
It looked like we were reaching based on the rankings so they ranked him as the 194th prospect on MLB's top 50, 250. And we drafted him at 153, and Baseball America had him at 226. So I mean, these are the Yankees big boards, and then these are the smart guys big boards. So I mean, it's different. So the Yankees may have had him higher. Very different. He lost 20 pounds showing up to 2021. That definitely helped him out. So the fact that he shows, that 6'5".
Huge. Sounds like he's just peaking at the right
6'3", 205.
Oh, I was gonna say 6'3". No, but it just sounded like he was peaking at the right time, losing weight, helped him out a lot. And he's committed to being better.
He's committed to being better.
That's what I'm saying. It's good out of the draft to get guys on an upward trajectory versus higher ceiling guys that just aren't very good.
Yep. Richard Fitz. So this is an interesting pick. 21 years old. He looks pretty good. Picked him with the 183rd overall selection, 2.77 ERA in the shortened season, 6 outings in 2020. Baseball America wrote that he later impressed in fall ball and paired a mid-90s fastball with a buzzsaw slider. Buzzsaw quote.
Love that
foot injury. Yeah, a foot injury in 2021 threw his season into shambles. And then this past season, he wasn't great. 5.88 ERA, a 12.82 whip, and just under 9 strikeouts per 9. So, and that was down from his 11.1 from the season before.
Yeah, not good.
He would
Yeah.
look excellent sometimes and wouldn't look so good other times. He throws a changeup with splitting action. He's improving his mid 80s slider, but both regressed this past year. And he can reach 97 with quality vertical life, according to MLB Pipeline. And SB Nation writes, or Andrew Means writes, Mearns writes, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry. Fitz will have something to prove as he joins the Yankees organization, but really the sixth round is not a bad spot at all to take a roll of the dice on a potential first round talent. That's it. We're going to this guy. I'll just leave it right.
Hey, first round talent. Will Warren. I was a big fan of this guy's article out of Southeastern Louisiana. He sounded like he gained a lot of velo. Actually, he was sitting 90 to 91, and then and was touching 95 and ended sitting 91 to 93, touching up to 97. And it sounded like he gained length over the course of the year, turning 14 starts into a 2.57 ERA with 95 strikeouts and only 25 walks in 91 innings, which is huge. And it also sounds like his curve is only upper 70s, which is a really good what's the word? Like it complements the fastball really well. And he has a high spin rate too, which is good naturally. Hopefully he can use that fastball, like new increasing speed fastball and the big looping curveball, and add maybe a third pitch, and he can be a weapon for us in the future.
Right. And we're only breaking down certain picks. Like that was the 8th round pick. We're just jumping around based on if something really caught our
interest.
eye.
Yeah.
9th pick after Warren, Chandler Champlain. This is a guy that picked him 273rd overall. He's 6'5", 220 from USC. He was very highly touted out of high school in 2018. 92nd ranked draft prospect out of high school in 2018.
Come on.
That
Let's
is
see where he got picked out of high school.
That is, who knows if he got picked? Not really saying. But the fact that that's a top 3 round guy who did struggle at USC, I'm not going to forget that. 5.06 ERA, 74 and 2/3 in 2021. That's not pretty. His strikeout to walk ratio was 69 to 22 over 19 and 20. So he got better this year. Actually, he made strides in his command. So that 69 to 22 was much better than 19 and 20. Excuse me. So 6'5", 220, big guy, big pitcher. I mean, that's probably your dream frame for a pitcher. And I mean, that's exciting. So we got him, 12th pick.
Ben Rice out of Dartmouth.
Left.
I mean, big arm catcher.
Hitter, not a left-handed catcher.
No. Big arm catcher, had a good 2020 Futures League. Hit 350, 11 bombs. It was good to see. One MVP actually, and with the Worcester Bravehearts. I mean, catcher with a big arm. Worcester.
Jeez. It's okay.
Worcester Bravehearts. I mean, catcher with a big arm. Hopefully, he can hit.
Lefty.
Play some good defense. Lefty. I can see why they did what they did with this pick.
I mean, he did struggle over his 30 games overall, all in college. Like he only played 30 games in college, which is crazy because he had the Ivy League teams didn't play this past year, and then he had a shortened season the year before. So he kind of got unlucky. His OPS was like 673, and he hit 242, which isn't great, and he only hit 1 homer. But I mean, he really showed who he was in that Futures League, which I'm not really sure. I've never heard of that, but interesting nonetheless. Left-handed catcher, Austin Wells. Been hearing good things about him too. Probably going to get called up as well, based on how he's doing. So, our next guy, Zach Messenger, high variance guy, split time in the starter role, reliever role in college. Most of his time out of the pen, so he knows how to pitch out of the bullpen. Which, I mean, a lot of these guys, they become starters and then they struggle. And you know what they say about good relief pitchers, they're all failed starters for the most part. So a guy that knows how to pitch out of the bullpen, called for a critical start in the ACC tournament. He went 5 1/3 to earn approval, according to the article, as a future starter. He was ranked the 251st player on the board, netting a fastball 89 to 91 range sitting, but up to 96. So that can only go. And he is a mammoth. Like, this guy is huge. Oh, what am I saying? I'm very sorry. He's only 6'3". I don't know what I was going for there, but he throws a 3/4 arm slot. So when you can throw 96 at a 3/4 arm slot, that is impressive. Slider, curveball, and a changeup, but he rarely uses that. So I'm sorry. I'm just too antsy to call out these mammoth guys because they're coming up. Just wait.
Yeah, no, yeah. Danny Watson out of VCU in the 15th round is another guy with a 3/4 arm slot. He's a righty. He has a nice fastball slider, pitch mix, and he pitched to a 4.06 ERA with 6 starts and 19 total appearances for VCU with 55 Ks and 21 walks and 44 and a third innings.
Concerning, but
what 21 walks? Yeah, I mean
44 innings.
Control issues. Yeah, you can't be walking that many.
He also plunked 15 hitters.
Not good. Yeah, you gotta command. But 15th round, they're gonna take off potential, and it sounds like he has a nice slider. So hopefully they can work on his command and get him ready to throw some strikes for us.
It's confirmed that he will sign. So
Danny Watson too. Okay.
And he is 6'7". So 6'7", throwing from a 3/4 arm slot is interesting.
Very interesting visual.
18. We're gonna jump to the 18th pick. Bailey Dees. I hope I'm saying that right. It's a fun name. This guy. So the prior pick we took Jack Neely, right-handed pitcher from Ohio State, 6'8". This guy, 6'8". After Watson, 6'7". These guys are basketball players. I just wanted to mention Dees because of how impressive he was in 2020. 28 2/3, 1.88 ERA with a .872 WHIP and 5 starts. Shortened season. And then, next season, 5.59 ERA, 66 innings, not great at all. But, I mean, he allowed 1 homer in 2020 compared to 9 in 2021. So we just got to get him back to 2020 Bailey Dees and not 2021 Bailey Dees, because he'll go from D's nuts to D's awesome. So, yeah, they're saying if he can keep the long ball under control, he could have it'd be an interesting starter at Yankees. I mean, these guys are ridiculously tall. We don't have too many ridiculously tall pitchers. We have Jordan Montgomery, and I mean, that's it. But these tall pitchers, I mean, these are frames that we'd like. That ended our draft recap. Wanted to go in more in depth information. We're not scouts.
Yeah, so for real.
But we drafted, of our 20 picks, 11 players over 6'3". Interesting. We drafted Sean, and we did draft Dom Keegan, who confirmed that he won't sign. Catcher, first baseman for Vanderbilt. I believe he hit 340 last year with like an 1100 OPS. Very good player.
He hits. He's positionless. They got that. He's going to develop a little more.
Yeah, he's going to go back to college. He's going to, hit in the best competition possible and hit maybe 340 again, and he's going to become a top 5 round draft pick, maybe higher.
I think so. I think he fell because they knew he was going back. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we take next year.
Sean Hard, 6'5" from St. Joe's, probably won't sign either, going to BC if he goes to college instead. All right. And now it's time for business.
Here he goes.
I've been on social media the last few days. Home run derby attention, your name's going to get out there, trade deadline's coming up. So many people want Joey Gallo on the New York Yankees. This is an outrage. This is ridiculous. Joey Gallo should not be a New York Yankee, and I'm here to tell you why. His 162 game strikeout pace this season is 208 strikeouts. What is that fixing? In a full 162, let's be hypothetical because these guys really don't play 162 games. In a full 162, Aaron Judge Giancarlo Stanton. We're probably going to re-sign Gary Sanchez next offseason. Gleyber Torres at this rate. Joey Gallo. You could have 5 guys striking out of 150 plus strikeouts, and Gallo's going to top that list. The same people that were being annoying, except for me, because I'm me, that wanted Michael Brantley are the same people saying they wanted Joey Gallo. How does that make any sense, people? How? You want a guy that's going to, compete for the batting title, and then you're going to go all out for a guy who, sure, he has a 402 on base percentage, but it's career 339. That is not good. And that does not separate him from anyone else on the team. 339 is not an impressive on base percentage. Why do we want another all or nothing hitter? Judge and Stanton are not all or nothing, but adding Gallo is only going to add a lefty bat. It's not going to help us with runners in scoring position. Gallo is hitting 206 with runners in scoring position this year. We stink with runners in scoring position, and he would just be adding to the problem. I know Joey Gallo is a great defensive player, and all of the metrics say so. You can throw out all of your nerd statistics at me. I know Joey Gallo is good at defense, and he could probably man center field at Yankee Stadium or left field for that matter. But you're not going to get Joey Gallo mainly because of his glove. He's a left-handed batter with 40 homer pop. But you could go play Rougned Odor 150 times a year, and he's probably going to pop 30 home runs if he stayed healthy. Rougned Odor could hit 30 home runs, and you're talking about bringing in Joey Gallo. Like I said, 339 on base percentage in his career, 402 on base percentage. That can't stick. We need the Yankees to go out and get a left-handed or switch hitter bat who strike out at a low rate, put the ball in play, hit for average, and get on base as well. We need to build around the power hitters, not add to them. Power's not our problem. It never has been. We broke the home run record in 2019 again for most home runs in a season. We don't need Joey Gallo. I don't care how many times I hear people talking about how we need another lefty bat. We could have gotten a lefty bat in Didi Gregorius last year. He won't hit 220. Gallo's hitting 239 right now. Gallo's been Adam Dunn with great defense before this season. That's not sustainable. He's 239. What is that gonna do for us? 239. Ridiculous. Go get an Adam Frazier, a Brian Reynolds, even a Raimel Tapia. Just not Joey Gallo.
Yeah. No. It was crazy the amount of posts today. Wednesday.
Oh my God.
I woke up Wednesday morning and saw it.
Yeah.
Just an absolute onslaught of Joey Gallo posts. And the thing is, since the sticky ball substance scandal, 1246 OPS, but here's my issue. After the 2017 year, 2018, 2019, 2020, we've been making excuses for an underperforming team, saying it's a small sample size. And then we see a month worth of Joey Gallo with a high OPS. We want to trade everything for him. We have to start using small sample size as an excuse to not fall for these flash in the pan performances instead of making an excuse for J-Mo. Instead of making excuses for a team that's done the same thing the last 4 years and it's going to keep doing it until something changes, like adding a Frazier, Reynolds. I don't know about Tapia, but I like Frazier and Reynolds. We just need someone to come in consistent and turn our lineup around.
And I was so against getting Kyle Schwarber and Jock Peterson for the same reason in the offseason.
Yeah, me too.
And now, magically, everybody, I was giving people, you know what, for that then. And I'm just going to throw it in your face right now. His 30.8 K rate is a career low right now.
That's insane.
Bottom 6% of the league. If that doesn't explain to you that he's on pace for 208 strikeouts in a 162 game span, and his 30.8 K rate is a career low, why do you want this guy? Why? I don't care his on-base percentage is 402. It doesn't justify striking out 200 times in a season. Just ridiculous. Let's go out Go to the Pirates because we'll trade our whole farm system to the Pirates for Jameson Tyone and these guys are studs. I said on the last episode, Adam Frazier, Brian Reynolds package, Luke Voigt, Davy Garcia, Florial, Clint Frazier. Hand it to them. If they want more, I don't know, say goodbye to Peraza or Clark Schmidt or someone, Glenn Otto or someone in the minor league system that's pitching well or hitting well, whatever. Dermis, you could give him too. Brian Reynolds and Adam Frazier need to be New York Yankees. We need to get rid of Luke Voigt. He's just another power hitter. And if you didn't already know I was sick of all these power hitters, Luke Voigt needs to go. I like Luke Voigt.
It's all facts. It is all like everything you're saying.
But move DJ to first, put Frazier at second, and you got Reynolds in center. And that's not stopping you from going out and getting another piece. You could go get I know you're not a big fan, but he's hitting like 290 this year, Ryan Tapia. Go get someone in left field because you're trading Clint Frazier. You're telling me that the Yankees, besides Aaron Judge, to fill out left and center field this year, have 3 options: Tim LeCastro, Brett Gardner, and Clint Frazier. We need to change.
Don't forget about Tyler Wade.
Tyler Wade. And Aaron Hicks is going to come back next year. And sure, you're going to give him a shot because you're paying him the money, but he can go out and play left field. And when Aaron Hicks is right, he can produce the same on base percentage that Joey Gallo is right now. And
very true.
Joe, I'll just bet money on it. I put money on it. Joey Gallo is not going to have a 390 plus OBP by the end of the season. It's going to be lower, and it better not be in pinstripes. I'm done going off about him.
Yeah, no, we just got to wait and see. I'm looking forward to the trade deadline. There's lots of pieces that are going to be moving throughout the league. We got to pick the right ones.
I just think that there's too many people going for a Frazier and the Reynolds, and for them to package them and send them to us, the Yankees.
No, it's insane. No, Frazier's not coming. It would be Reynolds, if anything.
I know I said I was done with Gallo, but there's another thing. Joey Gallo, these rumors to the Yankees, they might be all bogus. People might say that the Yankees want him, and everyone's going to want to compete with the Yankees. Everyone's going to want to beat the Yankees out. It could, entail another prospect that the Rangers get in trade talks because the Yankees were rumored to go get Joey Gallo. We might not even be thinking about going to get Joey Gallo, and I hope so.
I hope not.
I hope another team gets fleeced when they have to give up another prospect. Maybe that's it, but it just better not be true, and it better not happen because I will be upset, very upset.
Just gotta wait and see, man. Oh, well, we'll be live if it happens.
Yeah, probably won't be crying, but I'll cry after.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So that wraps up everything. Going to the game tomorrow. I wish we could film a vlog, but I mean, I'm not going to be like that. We don't have that set up. Maybe in the future. I don't know.
Maybe.
But looking forward to that. Yanks.
That'll be fun.
Let me get my handy dandy sheet out.
There we go.
Dropping stuff and everything. We got 8 games against Boston in 10 games. So we need to take 6 out of 8.
This is it, right? No, I mean, this is it right here.
This is their season.
Like, we already know their fate, but it hasn't played out yet. So this week it's going to play out how we know it's going to play out.
Let me give you some rapid fire questions for the trade deadline. Are the Yankees trading Chapman?
No. Are
they trading Clint Frazier?
No. This is all offseason stuff. They'll do both in the offseason, I think.
It just adds to why didn't you give Chapman a chance to even up his value? Up it back up.
They still can.
They sure can, but they waited a little too long. That Astros that going into the All-Star game with the Astros loss was brutal. It was one of the worst losses I've ever seen. So I'm just sick of it.
Yeah.
So
I think they're gonna if they make moves, it'll be through the farm at the deadline, and then in the offseason it'll be the roster revamp.
I hope.
So yeah, I hope. I mean, I'd assume. I don't know how else.
I just want 4 lefties, 4 righties, or 4 lefties, a switch hitter, and 4 righties. Balance the lineup like baseball managers have been setting lineups all along. Stop with the analytics. just balance your team. Get power hitters, get guys that get on, get guys that walk. Get guys that are going to put the ball in play to move guys over when you get guys on. Play the game the right way. Just don't try to be the Rays. Don't try to be the Rays, because whenever you try to be the Rays, you fail. So do everything that they don't do, but have a similar concept. Go with that. Get power, get contact. Balance it, because we don't have that. We don't have that right now, and we need that. Frazier
And
and
we have
Reynolds,
one pitcher. One pitcher,
one
too.
pitcher. So that needs to change. And we also
That
need a
can't stick.
stable role in the bullpen. And that might be Jonathan Loaizaga. He might be the next Mariano Rivera. We don't know. He probably won't be. But I like him. I like him.
I like him too. I love him.
I have his
like
autograph.
Loaizaga a lot.
I think that's going to sell
Big
one
flex.
day. But even though I won't. All right, let's stop talking. The Yankees need to go win. And they need to go make moves at the deadline. That's going to help the future. And that's not going to help in the moment. We don't need a guy like Joey Gallo who's going to be controllable just after this year. We need a guy like Brian Reynolds who's going to be controllable till 25. I'm done talking. Let's end the episode. Luke, anything else?
No, let's go Yanks. They got to win. Do or die right now.
Yep.
I mean,
Follow
we're getting down to it.
Yep. Follow all the social medias, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode.
Yep, at Monument Bark Pod. Later.
See you.